So let's get into this video. You saw the thumbnail. Now, I personally don't watch the WWE anymore. The most that I'll do, and I don't even watch clips. I just have no interest in the product. But I do see videos of people talking about what's going on. And then they'll, give the breakdowns of the shows. And I do see other videos, but I just don't watch the WWE. I just lost interest in it as a show. Like I said, I stated the reasons why before, so I'm not going into all that again. Now, let me tell you guys what's wrong that you guys are just not understanding. And it shows you the level of immaturity also. And I'm just being blunt. I'm just being real. It shows you the level of immaturity and how detached from reality people are. With the amount of reaction videos that people do, this is your opportunity to see what came before your generation, to have an understanding of what happened before your generation. But instead, you guys, a lot of you look back and try to put down something because it's not what you're used to now. It's like, when I tell people about the Bible, you don't get a New Testament without the old one. So let's stop this bullshit about trying to overlook the Old Testament to skip to the New Testament because there's things in there that are morally wrong in both, basically. But where you'll go, well, I don't advocate for slavery, or I don't think that it's good for a father to sell his daughter as a slave. I don't think it's good for a man to impregnate his two daughters, and all this type of stuff that the Old Testament gives you. But bottom line, this is what you guys do. You look at what came before instead of having appreciation. This is why I say an appreciation goes like this for me, okay? I appreciate the efforts and things that were done for all. I don't appreciate something that was done for one, but not the others. But we had to have people fight to get it that way where others can share those same freedoms. So, which means if your punk ass was basically saying, no, I only care about one race of people, I only care about one set of people, no, screw you. I don't appreciate you. Screw you. I appreciate the people that fought for equal rights and for civil rights. That's what I appreciate. Let's move on. So looking at the WWE, they have given you more of what they've been trying to do from day one. If you go back in the days where you had Hogan playing Thunder Lips, okay? Then having other movies in his own show. WCW had a movie with all of them, Sting, all those guys in there with David Arquette and all those guys, Goldberg, everybody. Okay, so exposure, more exposure, we get it. Every company is trying to be as big as they possibly can. The difference with every other company, okay, including WCW, is they want it to be big and they want it to get the attention on the product of wrestling. The WWE got to a point where it's not good enough to maintain. They want to be Hollywood. They want to be mainstream. They have put wrestling aside. They have come up with completely stupid storylines next to no storylines at all. Weren't you the same people saying, AEW has no storylines? We're going, yes, they do. You guys just don't get it because their storylines are not people fighting over Ula Falas. Because you don't have people like Iguana Man jumping in the ring fighting with puppets, with other people with puppets, and it's a different mindset. The writing is different. It's more hardcore. It's more kick-ass. It's more, hey, that's what I like. That's wrestling. WWE has had a stronghold on people for so long, to the point where people have this attitude, if you're not doing it the way the WWE is doing it, then you're not doing it right. For every company that's ever come, and you've had anybody, whether it was content creators, whether it's somebody on TMZ or just anywhere, where someone said, there's a new wrestling company called such and such, and they have a guy named such and such who, has good money, and he's trying to take this company to the next level and blah, blah, blah. It never got to a point where that news goes mainstream, where that company went mainstream, and every company that comes out, the expectations is it's not going to last or it's not going to be big. It's like if you used to watch Tuesday night fights. The mentality was, these bum ass fighters, they're not good enough to be on HBO or Showtime. See, these are the casuals. And what people fail to realize, there's more casuals mixed in everything than there are real solid fans. This is why when something's new, the bigger the numbers are, when those numbers dwindle down, the core fans, they're the ones that will remain. See, because the others, there's always, if you notice, like everybody the expectations that they have for other companies. Is like, example, if you say things like AEW, they're not getting, 8.5 million people watch it, neither is the WWE. So what you want to do is you want to take the highest number that the WWE has ever had and say what another company can't do, and they can't even do it. So they can't get an 8.0. Okay? They can't even do it. Their numbers are dwindling down. I saw SmackDown go from 1.3 to 1.1 to 1.3. Raw's number, same thing. Notice how now all of a sudden, all of these people that was doing these channels, always pointing out how AEW was getting 500,000, 600,000, right? Anytime NXT ratings were higher, that's when they wanted to do it. Notice how you don't see those channels anymore? Yeah, they changed their content, didn't they? I always said, it's not, for me, if I don't like something, I don't like it. I used to love watching TNA. TNA went from what it was to what it is now. And I just can't get into it. And basically, they don't have any backbone. They have nothing. I mean, Moose sat there and exaggerated. He actually lied. Now, when he said he thinks the WWE, they owe it to them for the success of TNA right now, maybe he feels more inclusion in terms of from fans that normally wasn't watching, but he said something that was pure bullshit. He said we went from having 500 people a show to 8,000. When in the flying fuck does TNA get 8,000 people at a show? Stop it. If TNA got 8,000 fucking people in any show, that would be the talk. Out of everything else going on in wrestling, that would be the talking point for TNA. They can't get no fucking 8,000. Tommy Dreamer said last year he believes TNA is going to do 10,000. They're going to do 15,000. They're going to do 20,000 seat arenas. I believe he knew about the inclusion with them and WWE having a partnership, and that's why he said that. That's what he thought. 8,000. Stop it, man. The last events they had was like 35,000, 3,500 people. Okay? But even in him saying that, look at what they're saying. Thanks to the WWE. Now, when I say nobody's giving a shit about TNA, nobody's watching TNA for TNA. They're watching TNA to see what NXT guys are going to do. So now they have TNA, so when they have TNA invade NXT, they think and hope that, well, the NXT audience will watch TNA. Not really. No, and bottom line is, they're content with watching YouTube clips. They don't need to see the whole show. Just whatever happened with these NXT guys. And people are so detached from reality. If you guys pay attention to everything that I've ever told you guys, the much bigger channels, it takes them a year and a half, 2 fucking years, then finally they'll say what I've been telling you guys forever. Because I speak without bias. I pay attention to what's happening. Now, when I don't watch a product anymore, there's really not much detail I can give you as far as what I'm seeing. This is why I watch other things. But I don't watch it for WWE content. Okay. But these other channels, they talk about wrestling, they talk about gaming and whatever. Okay, that's what we do on this channel and other stuff. This is what the WWE is. The same way, if you can sit back and go way back to the Wild Samoans, if you can go back to the days of Nikita Koloff and Ivan Koloff and Jimmy Snuka, and you can go through all these people, Bruiser Brody, the Stings, the Great Mutas, Jesse Ventura's, You know, if you can go back to all these different times, Harley race, then you have common sense to see that it changed. So if you're watching long enough, you'd be able to tell 70s, 80s, and 90s the difference. You'd be able to tell going forward, of course, 2000s and early 2000s, and all, of course, you'd be able to tell the difference. And even if you couldn't tell what time period it was from, guess what? You know this was way back in the day. Not just because of the way it looked, the way they dressed, the way the commentary was, the way the shows were set up. So if you were watching along, and this is why you can't judge something that just because you see a clip or a compilation video, you have to be able to watch, and watch. That's why you have casuals, because they don't take the time to study and watch. And just like Tuesday night fights, they call these guys bums, and now all of a sudden they realize, oh shit, that guy was on Tuesday night fights. Now he's fighting on HBO or Showtime. Oh, now he's big time to you. Okay, those were the proving grounds. Or boxers that used to be on top who fell off. Yeah, that's what it was. You had a combination of different things with Tuesday night fights. But boxing fans watched it. Casuals, they just talk shit. So let's go forward. ESPN. They had people honest and said, hey, they rate Wrestle Palooza for losers. Okay, fuck Palooza. Wrestle Palooza for losers. Okay, bottom line, they rated it a C. Now we're talking from A through D. Most people said they're being generous. That show sucked. I didn't watch it. I don't care to watch it. Here's what I'm telling you guys. Just think about how long people keep jumping in front of a camera telling you how crappy the WWE product is. And that's from Raw to SmackDown to NXT to their pay-per-views. Here you are a year and a half, 2 years later, you guys are still saying the same things. What don't you get? This is the new WWE. You're trying in your mind to change it back to what it used to be. Well, I'll tell you what. Do you think that back in the day, you would have ever seen a character like Iguana Man versus John Cena for the World Heavyweight Championship? Yeah, so all of these things that happen, like you guys don't understand. You see, this is the thing, and this is why I say people need to be more blunt, and people need to clarify. Stop saying professional wrestling when you're talking about just the WWE. Because for one, they don't represent wrestling. They're not just wrestling. And they're not the only show in town. And that's from them to the smallest companies out there. Okay, out of respect for the business, stop defining pro wrestling through the WWE. Especially a company that call themselves Sports Entertainment. Okay, World Wrestling Entertainment. They've been taking the professional wrestling aspect away for the longest time. Even the time that you guys say that you like the most. I've seen the change, and it got to the point, like the first time I saw The Rock come out and start doing 25-minute promos or Stone Cold on, you see people, oh, the Attitude Era, yeah, whatever. I didn't like that shit either. It was just like, what the hell are they doing? Yet I'm watching Nitro. They done have 3 matches. They're sizzling over there. These guys in the ring just talking forever. They're telling stories. No, The Rock is out here insulting people and just talking shit. And it doesn't take that long to get to the point just to say, how about me and you, next pay-per-view, steel cage? Yeah, but I mean, the build-up, but it was, whatever, man. Okay, so I've never had I love this sports entertainment type of mindset of to where it's just talk, barely matches. Okay, anyway, they have been trying this for the longest. The Rock went into acting. Then they had a stupid storyline with him and John Cena. Don't dick me around and tell me you love the WWE. You go into acting. He does the same thing. I mean, everything. Let's look at something, right? So, without me watching it, just understand what's going on. Did it make any sense for John Cena to win a 17-time champion, regard himself as the greatest of all time because of the accomplishment? Not because of skill and ability, but because of the accomplishment. Then he turns around, he loses the belt back to who of all people? Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes. Okay? Now, what's the purpose of him being squashed by Brock Lesnar? What did that do? What does it do for John Cena? Who cares about the rest of his retirement tour other than, well, it's going to be the last time we see him if you care that much to see his ass. But he loses and gets squashed by Brock. Why? Do you know right now why Brock came back and attacked John Cena? Do you have a storyline as to why that happened? But you're the guys week after week after week praising these guys. You bury them. But then when someone says AEW is over here cooking, oh man, well, WWE is better because what? That's why every week you're complaining about how the show sucks and it's crap. And you're upset because AEW is giving you professional wrestling with storylines and a mix. See, let's go back and let me give you something. It's one thing I've noticed AEW, they do their long-term storylines will have a breakage in between somewhere, but it all links back one way or another, and I'll give you an example. Remember when Ricochet was in the ring by himself? And like I stated, it was him versus Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and MVP by himself. When they grabbed him up by the collar, what did all of you do? What did all these content creators do? AEW they're undeniably just buried Ricochet. Ricochet is buried. There's no bringing him back. What did Vince Russo say? Zeb Coulter, all these experts, right? And I told you guys, first of all, let's look at the scenario. He has a character change. This new psychopathic nerd type, that's a different character change for him. 2, he's outnumbered by 3 big dudes, okay? Y'all said he got buried. How? This is professional wrestling. Does a storyline last 1 week? Okay. Notice how when him and the Gates of Agony end up linking up, what did they do when now they come full circle to have a clash? And guess who got the pin? Ricochet. And they go back and show that old footage in the build up to their fight. And now I got 2 partners. It's 3 of us now. Now, let's see you punk me now. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And so this is what I'm saying. There's always things that happen that we can look at and think it would have been better if they would have did such and such a thing. Okay, whatever. I applaud a good effort, great effort, whatever. No effort at all, or just let's throw something together because storylines don't have to make sense. Nah, that's stupid. But let's look at this. All of you had to eat crow because no, Ricochet is actually shining. And look at what he's been involved in. Okay? So Ricochet has been shining. The Hurt Syndicate has been shining. Mercedes Moné has been shining. Yeah. Can we say the same things about Andrade Idolo, about Miro? Huh? Can we say the same things about them? Huh? Malachi Black. Can we say the same things about these very people that left AEW? You guys don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but quick to say what should have happened, what shouldn't have happened, and you don't even know what happened, but they get there. And the funny thing is, I saw a couple of thumbnails that popped up that says Andrade is not even with WWE anymore, which I don't even care. But bottom line, then he brings back Brock Lesnar of all people. The Rock lost all his weight for his new movie role. He claimed he's playing a 70-year-old man whose best friend is a chicken, and so he had to look the part. So The Rock can't come out and save the WWE from this bullshit, which is something they've always done. Let's go bring the legends back, have them coming in, cut a promo and insult everybody and blah, 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 get the crowd. This is awesome bullshit. Okay, well, it shows you they have no faith in their younger talent. For a company that tells you basically just shut up and be fans. The complainers are not real. They're bots. What do you expect? Storylines don't have to make sense. They are all about let's become as mainstream as we possibly can. Wrestling is secondary. Okay? Secondary. They were given a C by a platform that they have now just had a new deal with, and they were honest. And but most people were saying, hell no, that wasn't no C. That shit was a fucking Z. That shit was terrible. Well, listen. As I said in my last video, you guys will complain about it, but you'll still support it, won't you? You'll complain, but you'll still support it. Now, another thing that I was told, that I saw, the person was talking about another match, which involved Jade Cargill, Tiffany Stratton, and Nia Jax. I said, goddamn, again? I laughed. Again? Same old shit. Well, this time they say in the three-way that basically Tiffany Stratton had Nia Jax pinned. Nia was supposed to kick out. She missed her cue. And the referee basically held instead of counting for no reason because Nia never kicked out. Okay. We've seen botches like this happen plenty of times in wrestling where somebody screws up. But here's the thing. I heard that Jade got busted open. Okay. So she wasn't outside the ring, which she was either supposed to make the save, but she was never supposed to win it anyway. And then she didn't, maybe because she got busted open. And they said this wasn't a stage. Let me cut my, like she was really busted open. So maybe she was kind of discombobulated. I don't know. But however, let me say this, man. Going into what I heard about this match. First of all, Tiffany Stratton is no better than fucking Jade. They both botch and make fuck the same. Both of them. She's no better. Okay? I told you guys that Tiffany Stratton is nothing but like a little girl trapped in a grown woman's body. And she just basically never did nothing for me. When I watch her, I'm just like I said, I remember back when Mariah May was the women's champion in AEW, and when I would just look at the both of them, it's like Mariah May was sadistic, sneaky, evil. Tiffany Stratton is like an overgrown child. That's it. Well, here's the thing about it, right? All of you ran your mouths and said Jade Cargill was going to be champion real soon. She was about to beat Naomi, and this was going to happen, and she was going to get right. And I told you, what do people resort to? Oh, she's still green. She's not ready. She's not ready. Stop it, man. Stop it with the bullshit. Stop it. Let me tell you guys something. Jade Cargill, coming from AEW, whatever her limitations were, AEW knew how to camouflage it. WWE, why invest all this time into her just to screw her over? So once again, she loses another match. No, she didn't get pinned, but the bottom line, it wasn't designed for her to win, regardless. And yeah, but she didn't get. Oh, stop it, man. Grow up. You guys don't realize they don't want to take anybody from AEW and bow instantly. Nope, it's a slow build, and they're burying them. Look at look. I'm hearing all kinds of complaints about Jacob Fatu and how he's being used. We already know they were burying the hell out of LA Knight. Okay? Drew McIntyre. Like, listen, the way I see it, Tiffany Stratton is the perfect little American Barbie. Let's take her and make her the new Charlotte Flair. Let's make her the new Becky Lynch. Let's make her multi-time champion over. It's something about Tiffany Stratton that they obviously care about this fake titty, flotation device in a chest type of shit. I don't know. I don't really care. But like I said, when you sit and look at who's who, and here go the crazy thing. Remember when I told you guys Jade Cargill wasn't as strong as she used to be or as big, and they had her slimmed down to this little Barbie doll? It's this little diva shit. It's something that they have inside of them. Even Jordan Grace is slimmed down considerably. Something about them. Same thing. China was all jacked, then she slimmed down considerably. Had the face change and all that shit. No, okay, whatever. It's something about the WWE where they don't want kick-ass women. They want Barbie dolls. Shayna Baszler was a beast in NXT. She comes to the main roster, and what happens? She can't beat shit. But they don't look at her like eye candy. See, it's something that people in the WWE, they purposely overlook, and so do their fans. But the real ones understand it. That's why I can say this right now today. A fucking year from now, some idiot will sit in front of a camera and repeat everything I just said. But they were the ones before, talking and talking and talking, but not seeing exactly what I'm saying right now. Okay, so here's the deal. Why take Jade Cargill just to do this bullshit? Why take Jordan Grace just to do this bullshit? Why is she still on the NXT roster, right? You should ask yourself these things. Huh? Oh, now Julia's being buried from what I understand. Well, here's the deal, y'all. A company that's based on entertainment, we want to pull in. We want all of these people to be in our audience, all the rappers, the basketball players, the football players. They sit there with their little bullshit, stupid belts on, screaming and posing. We don't care about storylines. All of these PLEs are back to back to back to back. They don't have time to build a solid storyline. Wrestling storylines are not like movie storylines, so they have to be entertaining and it has to connect 1 week to the next, to the next, to the next, to the pay-per-view. They don't give enough time for that. They don't care. They're going to keep shoving it down your throat because you fools keep watching. You keep attending, but you keep complaining. Okay. Well, I told you guys this, and I saw 3 videos as of today, which is Saturday. 3 people said the same thing I've been telling you guys since they started this bull crap, this trying to block AEW, right? I said AEW fans are not going to choose a WWE product over AEW. I don't know what you guys don't get. They're not going to do that, though. Now, you probably had a lot of AEW fans at one point that was thinking, man, AEW is not going to last. Why? Because they listen to all these WWE fanboy AEW haters telling you how the product's not going to last, the Zed Coulters of the world, the Vince Russos of the world, all these different people that have all this negative stuff to say about AEW, and they think this is going to be another WCW situation. They're strong for a while, then they're just going to fade away. Because this is what they keep hearing. Oh, every week, the ratings drop. So yeah, that starts to make people just say, you know what, I don't want to get emotionally invested into this because I know it's not going to last. That's the expectations. And that's why smaller companies can't grow, because they're seen as small companies. They're not ready. They don't have anyone. If you look right now at WWE, you know what one advantage that they've had over all these other companies at one point was finances. They had more money. They could afford to pay more than what other companies would. And also, it was a situation where you got Undertaker, Stone Cold, The Rock, Ric Flair, you had the Hogan, and just different people who were able to pop up on the show. That shit is over with. So these people that they have now, if you want to talk about wrestlers like John Cena or Roman Reigns or somebody who, like who's left, that's all they have. You understand what I'm saying? And it was always a shame to me that it take these older veteran guys who are no longer really active in wrestling, but it take them to come back and do what the younger ones can't do. Okay, so if you're gonna say, well, the WWE, like they have the legends, they have this person and that person, I'm saying, okay, well, I hear you, but what makes no sense about it to me is the simple fact that the young talent that you have, if you don't have confidence in them and you keep running back to The Rock, let's bring out Ric Flair, let's bring out The Undertaker, then how promising is the futures of these people? And in the whole, there's nowhere else to go, there's no competition, TNA's here, but TNA's small. Right, they didn't think AEW would ever come about. They never thought there'll be another wrestling company that could rival them. Okay, so let's do all this, trying to block them. Let's try to take people once their contracts are up. Well, guess what? Tony Khan figured out what I said a long time ago. Don't depend on former WWE guys to come and fill in spots. Don't. First off, WWE fans are like leeches. They're like parasites. They just try to suck the life out of people. They claim to be your biggest fan, but when you leave the company, that changes somehow, right? Well, no, you do what you do. This is why I'm glad that right off the bat, whether it happens or not, don't know, but why I'm glad that right off the bat we didn't see a Braun Strowman or Shayna Baszler or anybody else for that matter that just was fresh out of the WWE. And I'm going to tell you, like I said before, and I said, I hope Tony Khan, for his sake and for the sake of AEW, that he pays attention to this. Anytime a wrestler leaves the WWE, okay, and some of you might not get it right now, but you will later. And if you don't, well, that's your problem. Because this applies to life outside of the so-called entertainment business. Okay, this is just life. If a wrestler leaves the WWE, whether it was on their own or whether they were released, especially if they were released and just had no idea that it was going to happen and they just got rid of him. When they do an interview and they start doing this right here, well, I'm so grateful for my time in WWE. I had a great time. I was here. Leave them alone, Tony. Just leave them alone. And I'm going to tell you why. What they're trying to do is keep that bridge up, right? Which I get. But at the same time, what they're showing you, as soon as they get a call, they're going to go running right back. If 3 years of them being inactive or being on the indies was their case, more than likely the WWE is not calling back for them. But if 3 years of them being on AEW programming, all of a sudden, oh yeah, now they want you. Example, and if this ever happens, watch and remember who said it. Mandy Rose has not been in professional wrestling for a while. Mandy Rose was talking about her life and how she's better without the WWE, and she was pissed off at how Shawn Michaels came to her and told her she had to cancel her OnlyFans or they were going to cut her. And they did. If Mandy Rose popped up right now, if Mandy Rose came to the AEW and she shined in that motherfucker even just a little bit, I guarantee you, when her contract is up, guess who's calling her to, hey, yeah, you know, I guarantee you, people look at Saraya. I don't know Saraya's status. One thing about Saraya, she's fragile. You can, even in her wrestling style, you can see she's scared to take bumps. She's not confident, and I think Saraya, honestly, it's probably, if she's not in the ring wrestling and whatever, it's probably better that she don't. She's just very fragile. You can see that in her, man. Like, you know, I feel like she wanted to be champion and be able to get in there one more time, but you know, so what I'm saying is, yeah, there'll be people that, well, Saraya didn't go back. Well, that's Saraya's choice, and I don't know her status. We've been hearing this stuff about Britt Baker going to, every time someone is not in AEW anymore, you haven't seen them, people assume they're running to WWE. Okay, Wardlow just came back and got injured right away, so now he's right back off TV again, right? But bottom line, we see all these stories. People lie to you guys. There's no sources telling them anything. They're just assuming these things. And then when it doesn't happen, everybody act like it didn't happen. Because this generation don't care about the truth. They don't care about what's real. If an absolute absurd lie was told, but it was entertaining to people, they'd rather keep the lie going because it's entertaining and the truth isn't. That's this whack-ass generation. So, case in point, this new crop of people coming in watching WWE are going to be the ones keeping it going. But what they're trying to do, the heights they're trying to reach, nah, they're delusional. That's why that football league that Vince came up didn't work. Everything with him is storyline, entertainment. You got Jerry Lawler and fucking Jim Ross sitting there calling football games. And people sit here. One of the things I always laughed at is how people would talk shit about Tony Schiavone. I'm like, man, Tony Schiavone's a good announcer. Tony Schiavone's great at what he does. You fucking Jerry Lawler, the puppies. How they show puppies? Yeah, yeah. You know, they have some of the worst commentators. Bottom line is this. These guys are doing their jobs the way they're supposed to do them. But it's somehow you guys overlook stupidity. You look when somebody is not really a good commentator at all. Just because you're sitting there talking. I mean, half the time, the WWE people, they're talking, they're not even talking about anything relevant to what's going on. Just talking, just saying shit. And you guys just sit there and eat it up. But hey, you know what? For you guys who hate this product and you just can't figure it out, I've told you a million times. They don't care about wrestling or you. They care about your money. They care about entertainment, entertainment, entertainment. Okay? Triple H was before and during the Attitude Era. So how does someone of his stature not realize what's going on? Okay, so when this guy was in NXT and he's pumping his fist and man, we're gonna bring NXT to prominence and we're gonna right, what happened? Now he's over, right? The CEO of all, right? What the fuck his title is? What is he doing? Now everybody's like, oh, this guy's terrible. He doesn't know what he's doing. Mm-hmm. But you all still watch faithfully. Sit down and waste time. I would rather take 2 hours out of my life to do something I enjoy than to sit up and watch something for 2 hours knowing this is going to be some bullshit. Following week, the week after, the other week. Why am I torturing myself? Right? But this is what you all do. And when they're telling you that this show sucked, it was trash, it was garbage, yeah, so is Crown Jewel, the show after that, and because this is the direction that they've gone. Now, here's what I find weird, right? Now, this was from, I saw two different YouTube channels with both guys were saying the same things. As far as who was who did what and who, how it happened. But here's what I say. When Stephanie Valkyrie came out, and basically, so it's going to be her versus Tiffany Stratton. Does this in any way, shape, or form include Jade Cargill? Oh, but she's not good enough. She right. So we're going to invest all this time in Jade Cargill because she's just not good enough. So whose fault is that? And it's bullshit because there's people there that I mean, stop it, guys. Stop it. They've gotten lazy. Notice how they have no more giants, right? No more Big Show, no more Omos. No, they don't know what to do with these guys. The writing is awful. And you want to know what? It's best that they don't have these big guys. You know why? Because Omos and these big giant 7 foot, 450 pound guys, they'd be losing to Iguana Man. Yeah, they don't know what to do with people like that anymore. They've gotten lazy. It's garbage. And I told you guys, wrestling has become secondary. If you got two restaurants, this restaurant right here says, we have, seafood unlimited, right? The title is Seafood Unlimited. That means unlimited, right? This one over here says steak, seafood galore. Now, let's say Seafood Unlimited been around for a much longer time. But Seafood Unlimited don't have a lot of seafood. And what they make is, it's not the best. But they don't have a lot of seafood. But they have a variety of cakes and pies and a whole bunch of other shit. Live entertainment, people coming out juggling and shit and all this other shit that nobody asked for. Nobody's going to Seafood Unlimited for all this shit. They're going there for the fucking food, right? But Seafood and Steaks Galore has all the seafood, have a well balance of everything, right? They specialize in it. But let's say they have people that come out, they have certain forms of entertainment there. But bottom line is, the food is on point. They have all the seafood that you can name. They have their own variety of what they sell along with the seafood and with the steaks. They have their own forms of entertainment. But if the people that go to Seafood Unlimited is saying, I don't know why they call themselves Seafood Unlimited. They have actually Steak and Seafood Galore has way more. Yeah, they have way more. Let's look at what this is. It's a fucking restaurant first. Isn't that what made you go to this restaurant? The name Seafood Unlimited will make you go, oh shit, so they got all kinds of seafood. So even though the word unlimited is in that name, it's false. Steak and Seafood Galore has far more seafood. They have all the seafood you can ask for. They have steaks, they have a whole bunch of other shit. But you're so blinded by what they're doing at Seafood Unlimited, and you're complaining at the same time about what they don't have and what they should have, and I don't care about all this other shit, people coming out throwing fucking juggling with fireballs and all this stupid shit and weed. But you keep going. And people are going to Steak and Seafood Galore saying, hey, I love what they have over here. But for some reason, you get upset with those people and want to now try to defend the very restaurant that you keep complaining about. It's the same exact thing. And I think you guys know who's Seafood Unlimited and who's Steak and Seafood Galore in that scenario, okay? It's the same thing y'all do with AEW and WWE. You keep talking about what WWE had. Like, I stopped watching that shit, like I said. But I'm listening, I said, wow. What made me even pay attention to the algorithm shit, because I see wrestling and things like that on my YouTube. But when I saw this post from ESPN saying it was an average show, I said, damn, from what I'm hearing from people, ESPN is being generous. Because I'm hearing that shit, like I said, was a Z. That shit was garbage, complete garbage. People didn't like the show. But this is what the WWE has become. And it was in the works for the longest time. So all that storytelling that they were telling you, with the stupidity that you guys were milking because it was storylines, but the matches were lacking. And then when you say, yeah, but a year ago, WrestleMania 40 was this, and I don't understand how they... People, did you see the fucking match? All the fuck The Rock did was kept slamming Cody Rhodes until he throw him into something. And say what? Look at you now. Punch him, kick him, punch him, kick him, whip him with the belt, throw him to some other shit. Look at you. How many actual wrestling moves did he do? How many bumps did The Rock actually... It was a fight. There was nothing going on. Now, was the build-up better than what we've been seeing? Well, what you guys have been getting, not because I don't watch that crap anymore. But I wasn't impressed by any of it. Let me put it like that. So even for the people who said it was great, I didn't see it like that. But I noticed how even from a year ago, I agree that it completely was like, it just got worse. But I didn't even think that was fucking cool. I felt like it was all bullshit. This all being said, until you guys pinch yourself and wake up and realize this is just the new WWE. It has nothing to do with, oh, they need better writers. This is what they're doing. It's not a real sport, okay? Do they get hurt? Yes, and far more by accident than on purpose. It is wrestling. It is not real fighting. Okay? Real fights are not predetermined. So yes, it is sports and entertainment. That's what it is. But AEW understands. Let's give them professional wrestling with a balance of storyline and entertainment with it. That's what they give you. The WWE says, nah, screw that. We want just entertainment. We just want to go Hollywood. Look, Triple H said, this is the final form of sports and entertainment. For who? For who? So everything is storylines now? Everything has to have some bullshit. No. Sports and entertainment. If I tell you what, for the people that tuned in, from what I'm hearing about that show, a whole lot of them probably not going to tune back in. Meanwhile, I don't know I don't know what the final number is, but from what I know, two guys said that the buy rates for AEW all out was between 135 and 140 buy rates, right? 140,000 buy rates. So my whole thing with that is this. I don't know what the numbers were. I don't really care about stats. It's good to know that a company is here to stay. Okay, if they open up a gym around the corner from you, right? You want to know that they're here to stay. They're not just here for 5 or 6 years and then all of a sudden, oh, our business is bad, gone, right? But bottom line of what I'm telling you guys, right, is AEW is doing their thing. WWE can do nothing to hurt them. That's why all this counter programming, y'all think that they're doing this on purpose. On purpose. And it's not working. And the great thing about it is you get to watch both shows and compare. You can see what show is actually way better. Well, so instead of that, this week AEW, next week WWE, I mean, you still can compare, which I don't care to do. I just look at what I look at, and like I said, I'm fine with AEW. I don't have time to sit up every day and try to watch a whole bunch of different wrestling shows. I have a fucking life, okay? But when I look at that makes it shows. Like, damn, I just watched All Out. Now I'm watching Crown Jewel, just say, for example. Damn, AEW kicked their ass, man. They gave us some real hardcore shit. They gave us some real manly type shit. The little sissies of the world can't watch AEW. Oh, look at the thumbtack sticking in his back. Oh, little whatever. Go watch WWE. Go watch the Barbie doll stuff. And pretty much this is what they're giving you. For anyone that thinks that this is just a phase and then it's going to go back to what it... No. This is what they've grown into. You think the network that just produced their first show with the company they just had, was it $1.7 billion, whatever it was, or you think that these fucking people said, you think that they gave that a fucking C just to say it? No, they were not impressed at all. See, dirty deeds, when it backfires on you in the worst ways because your ego makes you think that it can't. That's why bullies always get embarrassed. Notice, all the bully stories is never about a bully had a fight with somebody that fought back and it was a proper scrap. Nope, that person destroyed that bully because they never thought it was going to ever come to that. So, yeah, somebody's in your bag deeper than you realize. So, all of these stupid things that the WWE decide to do, all this counter programming and trying to take shots at AEW is not concerned about them. And let's just be real. When you ask Tony Khan a question, like I remember someone asked him a question about the pay-per-views, did he ever consider them being on an earlier time, more long-term? Because, for example, by the time they start to show the pay-per-view at Dave & Buster's, for example, that it's like time, to go. And so it's like they don't even get to watch the whole thing, right? Because it's like 5 hours with 0 hour added to it, everything. And Tony Khan says, you know what? That's a great point. And I'm glad that you said that. He says, we have done moving our show earlier, and especially when you got to fly somewhere like far or whatever, like type of thing where it works out better for the fans, and pretty much the numbers have been great. That's another point to consider. I'm glad that you brought that to my attention. You know what he didn't say? Look, man, you guys should just be fans. Just, stop complaining. Just take whatever we give you. Nope. See, there's a difference when somebody care about their audience and care about their performers, okay? Because they go hand in hand and care about the product that they're giving you. Whereas Triple H would have told you to go fuck yourself. He'd have told you to just be a fan and stop complaining. Just take what we give you. We put the show on when we put it on. If you can't watch it at Dave and Buster's, so what? So what? Go home and spend extra money. So this is the type of things that you guys don't care about. So it's your own fault. But think about it. Regardless to how you see AEW or any other company, none of it makes the WWE look good. And if you're that stupid that you're going to tell yourself that, I'm just going to keep complaining. Now, for you guys that monetize your channels, whether you're talking good or bad about the WWE, you're still monetizing your channel, so you don't really care. It's a sucky life, though, that you choose to sit up and talk about something that is pretty much making you feel like I don't even like the product. It's like when I watch people, they're playing video games on like TikTok. What amazes me is when I see grown men stand up out their seat, slamming their hat down, kicking furniture in their house. Fucking catch the fucking ball! Son of a fucking bitch, we had the fucking ball. You gotta catch, like, hey, little guy, you do realize that you're talking to a fucking computer, right? And it doesn't understand or hear you. You know that, right? Like, what do you think? Because you're yelling and screaming at a computer is going to make a better play next time? Hey, it's all on you, dumbass. You're the one with the controller in your hand. I mean, these are things that I see, and I just like, wow. And this is why I came and watch a lot of this shit. But like I said, I study human behavior, man. I look at what people are doing, what they react to, how they react to it. And I look at all of this stuff, and it's like, wow. The only difference between a grown adult and a child is their age. Mentality-wise, they're all the same. And it's sad, but I wanted to make this video because I felt like I had a lot to say about this situation. Where some of it, basically I'm reiterating things, but there's, new things that's going on right now. And when you look at it, like for you guys that complain about Charlotte Flair, she keep winning the belt. Oh, Becky keeps winning. Becky this, Becky that. Okay, right. It's funny how when you compare them to Mercedes Moné, all of a sudden you want to brag about them. Well, yeah, she's making history and she's doing things that neither one of them has ever done. And she can care less about all of that. Her and Bayley are still really good friends, great friends, best friends, actually. Funny thing about it is I heard people complain about Bayley's segment, like, why did they even bring, but why? Why was Bayley even involved in this Wrestle Loser? Okay, Wrestle Palooza for losers. Okay, but bottom line, why? So nothing, I mean, everything is a complaint. But here's what you WWE retards do. For everybody you complain about and say they ain't shit, they're garbage, they're trash, I'm sick of seeing this person, guarantee you if they leave and go to AEW and they shine, you're going to find more reason to hate on them. Which doesn't make a difference. But the whole point is you guys are slaves. You are the type of slaves, on top of that your master say, hey boy, as of today, you're a free nigga. You can go on about your business now. No, sir, master. Master, I want to stay right under your thumb and under your whip. Told me be good for your hand, boss. Told me be good nigga for your hand. That's you guys. And I don't care if you're black, white, Puerto Rican, whatever the fuck you are. That's you. Because no matter, do you understand what I'm saying? What the fuck makes you week after week after week sit in front of a camera and complain? The same complaints. This is awful. This is terrible. This is the worst show I've ever seen. But yep, every week you're back with the same fucking you're making the same conversation every single week. But you're the same ones that want to try to shit on another company for being successful. So buy rates, ratings, everything in AEW has went up. And they're maintaining and they're gaining and they're growing globally. But we want to find a tail on them. Why? Because you can't just mind your business and say, look, WWE sucks. It's simple. And like I say, regardless of what like my thing is this, and let me make this clear. I don't need a wrestling company to follow. Okay, I don't need let me find something. I'm just trying to find something. No. I watch Maple Leaf Wrestling every now and then. I watch NWA every now and then. I don't watch TNA at all. Like I said, I do see clips pop up here and there, but for the most part, I just don't watch it. I don't type in TNA. I don't type in WWE. Because you can't watch wrestling shows, some of them like on a weekly basis. You just watch the uploads that they give you. Following the storyline is like, okay, cool, whatever. I can't because I don't know what happened last week or the week before, or whatever, right? Which I don't have to watch that to watch a solid wrestling program and just watch a show that's solid. But because wrestling has become storyline driven, yeah, people like, I don't know what's going on. I get that. But the problem that people don't understand is when you start looking for something to choose, when you start like feel like I just have to pick one, like I don't. Somebody asked me about football. So I don't watch football. Yeah, but you like the Raiders. I liked the Raiders. I liked the Buffalo Bills. I liked the Chicago Bears. I liked the San Francisco 49ers. I just lost interest in football years ago. I don't watch the NBA anymore. I just lost interest. Like really simple, man. There's a lot of things I just lost interest in. Then there's things like I started watching rugby. I never thought I should have did that. I'm watching rugby. I started watching rugby. I always watch women's volleyball. The WNBA I was watching to see what was going on, but I never watched it like I like it. You know, I just can't get into certain things. There's a lot of shit I try to watch and I'm like, okay, no interest. Being that I like basketball, being that I like, okay, like I'm not trying to find something to replace the NBA. If I saw something that I felt like was okay, that I can get into, okay, cool. So it's the same thing with professional wrestling. It just so happens that AEW is here. And like I said in my last video, if it wasn't for AEW, I probably wouldn't be watching professional wrestling right now. The same way how I used to watch basketball. I used to watch football. I'm more into like one fighting championships. I'm losing interest in boxing. Now, as far as competing, as far as training and keeping myself together, no, I'll always do that as long as I can, okay? But as far as like this, it's too much circus bullshit going on in boxing. It's like I'm losing interest in so many things. The UFC is not as entertaining as it used to be. So I watch what I watch, man. There's just a lot of things that it changed. Things happen, they change in life, okay? But no matter what company you hate on, it's not helping the WWE. And a lot of, even the biggest of idiots realize how terrified WWE is of AEW. That's why all the counter programming. I see you idiots that want to, they're really scared. Yep, they are scared of AEW. They are scared. And they know damn well that they can't steal AEW's audience without AEW going away. They know this. That doesn't mean AEW's audience, if that was to happen, is automatically going to go over to WWE. And this is what people are failing to realize. But WWE is smarter than you guys when it comes to that, because they can tell you, oh, we're not afraid of them. We don't even consider them competition. Right. That's why all of their big stars you want to try to take as soon as their contracts are up, because you're not afraid. But you get them there. Ethan Page has been nothing but a fucking developmental NXT wrestler. Jordan Grace of course they got her from TNA, but look what I told you guys. They have an agenda. The WWE is never ever doing anything for a company. They're doing it for them. And if you can benefit, off of them, and they can do business because they find something lucrative there, then that can happen. Why do you think they choose to take a tinker toy of a company like TNA to work with after they was trying to put them out of business all these years? But TNA was resilient and just became no threat. You understand what I'm saying? It's like watching those kung fu movies and the guys, he's a bad guy, but then all of a sudden he gets blinded or something. They're like, he's no threat anymore. Don't kill him. Spare his life. Shit like that, right? That's how they looked at TNA. You don't think that if a company like WWE can't respect the fact that, of course, they look at AEW and know these motherfuckers ain't going nowhere, man. And they're another rich company, a super rich company. Yeah, so you know what, man? Respect, same genre. We should reach out and do business together. Why do you think they don't want to do that? Why do you think they don't want to do that? I'll do it with NXT or TNA, but not Yeah, of course. We'll do AAA, but not AEW. Of course, we know why. Of course we know why. Now, with all that being said, y'all, listen. Make out of it what you want, but I just look at the facts. I look at what's true and what's real. The WWE has dug a big ass hole for themselves. North, south, east, and west. And they're like stuck in the middle. And as far as them finding a way to dig themselves out, because this is what will ultimately happen with them. They'll be what they always was, a wrestling company that, okay, let's say WrestleMania, they can still sell out the big stadiums and all cool. But in terms of growing and being that company that they want to be, this larger than life, this we're Hollywood, we're everything. We're boxing, we're UFC, we're wrestling, we're acting, we're ballet, we're snowboarding. Like that's what they want. They want to just be everything. This is a wrestling company, y'all. A supposed to be wrestling company. They will never be that. Once you start to water your product down, people start to see it. So you go back and look at all those Hell in a Cell matches. Mick Foley being thrown off a cage, through a table and his tooth going through his... No, that's not what the fuck you get now. The most you get now from WWE is Cody Rhodes powerbombing Kevin Owens on the fucking ladder outside the ring. Shit like that. This is not the same thing. You don't get the blood and guts match. Did y'all see MJF versus motherfucking Mark Briscoe? Yeah. Yeah, you don't see that kind of shit in WWE. No. WWE be like, stop hitting me. I'm going to suplex you. Yeah. Silly shit. Goofy shit. Iguana Man. Him and fucking... That shit had me cracking the fuck up when that clip popped up on my fucking phone. I'm like, what the fuck? Iguana Man and what's his name? Prince Devitt. They sit up here with puppets, and Iguana Man felt like he was in fear of a fucking puppet. And the fans are sitting there cheering when he pulled. And I'm just like, okay. Wow. I just shook my head and started. I cracked the fuck up like, yeah, I told you guys. Did not tell you right before I started watching all this shit. No, this is right. Yeah, I said WWE like people like Iguana Man. I bet you that's who they're going to try to, somebody like him. Oh, we could make action figures. The kids will love it. For Halloween, they'll dress up like him and we'll make a ton of money off of this. That's all they care about is turning profit in every aspect, right? Great as businessmen that you want to make money, turn profit. We get all that. But do you think that the fucking fans, real wrestling fans, want to see fucking Iguana Man? Do you think they really care about the little 130-pound fucking guy? Do you think anybody really cares about? So this is what I'm telling you. That's their direction. Entertainment. Fuck wrestling. Right. Now, listen to what I just said. That's all they care about. When you hear people yelling, I don't care about wrestling. I don't care about 5-star matches. Tell me a story. A story that leads to fucking what? Because if you don't care about the wrestling, hell, then read a book. Watch some fucking TV series. But if you're watching professional wrestling, saying, I don't care about wrestling, tell me a story. Why the fuck are you tuning in? And what right do you actually have to even complain about not getting good wrestling when you don't care about it? Who the fuck ever says, I don't care about boxing? Tell me a story. Oh, I tuned in just to see who Clarissa Shields is going to walk to the ring with. Oh, I just tuned in because I heard Eminem was going to be there. Oh, I tuned in because the Chicago Bears, their defensive line is all going to be there. I don't care about the fights. I just want the entertainment and the stories. So you don't want to see the fight itself? You just want the story. But then when you get a shitty wrestling match, you complain about the match. But you don't care about wrestling. I hear so many of these WWE retards say this shit. And I'm going to tell you why they say that. You want to know why? Because for the longest, from day one that AEW started, you know what the honest people would actually say, or halfway honest people would say? AEW by far has way better wrestling than WWE. Yeah, but they have no storylines. I don't care about wrestling. Tell me a story. Why are they saying that? Because they know WWE wrestling matches don't even compare to AEW wrestling matches. So our strong point in WWE is a story. Fuck wrestling. That, you know how stupid that sounds? So all we need is stories. No wrestling. We don't care about wrestling. That's your own words. I don't care about wrestling. I don't care about a 5-star match. Tell me a story. See how the stupidity goes hand in hand? But the people saying it don't realize it about themselves. I don't care about wrestling. Tell me a story. Tell me a story. Tell you a story. Like I said, a story that leads to fucking what? Another story? Then another story? Then another story, but no wrestling? Because that's what the fuck that's what the fuck you're asking for. And now all of a sudden, because the storylines are not adding up, they haven't been for a long time, they make no sense, they're stupid. After Triple H even told you storylines don't have to make sense, you still sit there scratching your head trying to figure it out as to why they don't. But that's what you thought you had one up on over AEW, thinking, oh, but we got story. No, AEW has always had storylines. Their storytelling has just always been on a more mature level. You know, when Roman Reigns won the Ulafala bullshit, that's where that story should have ended. Because Solo Sikoa wasn't doing shit. They didn't use him at all the proper way in the build-up. They didn't do shit with Jacob Fatu. They think that once you get over with the crowd, you can do whatever, and it's just all good. You know, I heard somebody say they think that either he did or they're going to turn Jey Uso heel again or whatever. I'm like, yeah, because they know his character's dying. That's why. Because all he got going for him, right? Yeah, exactly. Can't wrestle for shit, though. So when I hear people say, I don't care about wrestling, tell me a story, I'm looking at you motherfuckers saying, well, who are you to say Jey Uso can't wrestle for shit when you sit up here saying you don't care about wrestling? And then you see all these different channels who say the same type of stupid shit. I don't care about wrestling. I just, give me a good story, tell me a story. What the fuck is so good about a story if it doesn't lead to shit? You can watch a fucking movie. What's the story about? Huh? Because if it don't lead to something where it just connects all the way, so when we get an ending, you can say that was a great movie. I love that movie, right? What's the purpose? We're just telling stories, but no actual build-up. One of the movies I love from way back in the day before I was even born, but I mean the first time I saw it, to this day I still watch it, was Cooley High. You want to know what I said when I was like 12, 13 years old and I finally saw that movie for the first time? No, hell no, I'm tripping. No, I was probably whatever. I was a kid. I was probably like 7th or 8th grade, like that, when I saw that movie. That movie had been out for like ever. When I first saw that movie, I watched it. I remember I was sitting next to my uncle and I said, what is this movie actually about, like story-wise? My uncle looked at me and said, man, now that you say that, man, you sharp, you know that? And he said, I mean, it's just the life that they live in and stuff that they doing, and just I said, no, that's what I'm saying. I get that. It's just showing you what they do during the course of a day. I'm saying what's the story in this movie? Like, I don't feel like it's a story. It's just a movie showing these kids just doing what they doing on day to day, sneaking out of school. Remember that scene they snuck and went to the zoo and all that shit. And remember the gorilla hit the guy with in the shirt, the gorilla shit and all that, and snuck back on the, they're just stealing. They doing a bunch of silly shit. They're trying to hook up with different females and shit and all that. Coach Cheese was the basketball star and all that. And, he wanted to be a ball player. Preach wanted to be a writer and all that. But what was the actual storyline about in this movie? And my uncle couldn't tell me. But I remember asking him that. And I was about like 12 years old or something like that. 12 or 13 years old. We were just talking. Guess what? About 2 years ago, maybe a year or two ago, the guy that played Cochise in the movie, you know what that motherfucker sat here and said? They talked about that movie on the interview. I forget the black chick name interviewed him. He said, to be honest with you, there's one thing about Cooley High. It was a great movie and people love it to this day, but that movie had no storyline. I was like 12 or 13 when I seen that movie for the first fucking time. It was old by the time I saw it. But that's the point what I'm saying. I realized as a kid, this movie, like, is there something I'm missing? Because I just don't understand the storyline. There was no storyline. Okay? Yeah. So, me watching a product, realizing the storyline sucks. Me watching another product, or it has no storyline, watching another product saying, I get the storyline. I understand what they're doing. And they do have long-term storytelling. They just don't do it the repetitive way that the WWE does it. And they will revisit shit. And especially when, like, example, I love the fact that Adam, now we felt like it was inevitable that probably before it's all said and done, Adam Cole and Christian Cage are going to end up being back together. But you know what I love, though? I love how Christian Cage didn't do it overnight. No, he's still an asshole. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. But he's an asshole that's going to stand with Cole, which means they're going to be faces. Now, they could turn heel again or whatever. But you understand? I love this version of Christian Cage being like, he all of a sudden, I realized I was wrong and I'm going to turn a new leaf and you guys, he's still Christian Cage. He's still talking about you have no father. And do you understand? So all of the things that AEW is doing, I'm just like, yeah, I've seen from day one. I watched the very first show and I've seen every show that AEW has ever had. Televised shit, whatever. So I'm saying, I understood their storytelling. This is why I said I don't know why these people, where they come from with this shit, because see, WWE, they do things the way they do it. And the difference with AEW too, Tony Khan listens to what the fans are saying. He listens to the criticism. He listens to what's liked, what's not liked. He acts upon it. The problem with idiots is that they just want to complain just to complain. You understand what I mean? That just to troll. But WWE is on a decline with interest. Through time, you see what I'm saying? Everything is Hollywood. This is wrestling, man. What the fuck are you doing? I always say, y'all know this. It's like that artist, that rapper that comes out talking about his struggles, his come up. Then he got that party song. Everybody, chilling and whatever this. You got that chick where he talking about this woman that came along. That's been like the greatest thing in his life. Since his newborn. Then he's talking about, a little fantasy. What would the world be like without racism and hatred? Shit like that. He has a well-balanced album. But, he sells 1 million or 900,000. But then they got this motherfucker over here, no substance. Every song is just party, party, party. Yo, my watch cost $10 million. Yo, this necklace cost $3.5 million. Yo, my car cost this and that. I got X amount of cars. Yo, I fuck all these hoes. I fuck your mama. I fuck your baby mama. I fuck your daughter in front of your baby mama. Right? Nah, see, you dope, bro. We like what you got. But see, we need you to do more like what he doing. See, because all they care about is money, 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 money. And either he stands his grounds and keep doing what he's doing and giving you that well-balanced album, or he just sells himself and jump on the bandwagon, gain new fans but lose his core fans, and then he disappears. And then 5 years later, he's sitting up on some show trying to explain how the industry fucked him over, and right? And this is what your beloved WWE is doing right now. They showed you they don't care about the fans. It's all about money. They want to control the narrative. You're going to fall in line, shut the fuck up, and just be fans. That's what they've been showing you. So, like I said, you can hate on AEW all you want. We love what's going on. You can hate on any other promotion. But WWE doesn't care about you. You're fighting for someone that don't give a shit about you. They care about your money. And riddle me this, okay? If Tiffany Stratton beats Stephanie Vaquer, right? If she beats her, what are you going to say about Tiffany then? No, what are you going to say about her then? Because you all that complain about Charlotte Flair, you complain about, you don't think that that's what they're trying to do with Tiffany right now? That ladder right now is about 3-4 steps high, and they're trying to build that ladder you don't think that's what they're trying to do with Tiffany Stratton? So even if Jade Cargill, let's say if one day she finally wins, I guess she'll be the new Sasha Banks of the WWE. She might win the belt 2-3 times, 3-4 maybe, have a fucking 2-week title reign each time, and then all of a sudden, we got to turn her heel for her to get a 4 or 5 month reign. And those 4 or 5 months she barely wrestled, because all these wrestlers in WWE do. What kills me about them is when they come outside to do an interview with wrestling gear on, but they don't wrestle, just hold that belt. I mean, Cody Rhodes come out with that little powder fucking blue suit on every fucking week and just starts talking about nothing. And it's like so sickening. Like, I couldn't, I just had to, it's like, he come, only thing, goddamn, at least change your suit, man. Fuck, he changed it from the all gray to powder blue, from powder blue to all, like, and I just see this fucking guy every week, like, wow. And it was just like boring. And the show was boring and just garbage, which is one of the reasons I stopped. But it was more personal, more immoral shit about the WWE's why I stopped watching it. But look, with all of that, right? Think about it, y'all. You invest money into someone. You build them up. There's huge anticipation for their debut. And then all the excuses about this person being limited. Tiffany Stratton botches. Every match she's in, there's botches. Every fucking match. But you got people, Tiffany, she always delivers. Delivers what? You're attracted to Tiffany. For whatever fucking reason. Because she... But anyway, put it to you like this. From the stomach down, yeah, okay. From the stomach up, she ain't shit to look at. And even if she was, so what? So what? I'm not tuning in saying I want to see somebody win because I think they're cute. I think they're sexy. I think the fuck, come on, man. If you can't fucking wrestle, if you just, like I said, you make it sound like she's really out here putting on a wrestling clinic. Aren't you the same people saying, I don't care about wrestling, tell me a story? Aren't y'all the same ones? Yeah. Jade Cargill sucks. She needs to go back to AEW. Yeah, and if she did, if that happened, same way, if she went and she shined again, you know what? Yeah, WWE be calling her right back as soon as her contract ends. And wait, let me get back to the point I don't think I made. A content creator said the same shit that I said. The content creator said Jade Cargill is not as strong as she used to be because she couldn't even pick Nia Jax up. She said, I think she said, if I'm correct, that either Nia or Jade like broke the step. They took the steps apart, the top step off the bottom one, whatever, and like threw it. And then said Michael Cole said, "I'm too old for this shit" or something like that. He's almost hit him or whatever the fuck, something to that effect, and that with assistance. Now I believe with assistance meaning that I think not Nia probably went up on that step to do a move or something, and Jade picked up from there and said that the move was so quick. Like Jade didn't have the leg strength or back strength to really Now remember when she first came and she threw out the Royal Rumble, but this is what I told y'all. I said, man, no, Jade is not the same. She's a little deep. Look at Jade when you see her now. Jade used to be chin up, stare you the fuck down. I'm that bit, right? Just saying. Every time I would see Jade arms crossed, making them stupid faces, roll her eyes, just little diva shit. I told you, she's trimmed down tremendously. When she was in AEW, nobody was comparing her body to Bianca's. She was a beast. Now, Bianca, before she got injured, had started to beef up some more and tone up more, more jacked. But bottom line, what I'm saying is yes, Jade Cargill had a presence about herself. Now, her presence is not nothing. She just she almost looks skinny now, man. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, she's cut, but she's so much smaller. So yeah, that means she's not as strong. And I told you guys before I stopped watching this shit, she struggles to pick up people. You can clearly see where they're jumping up so she can get nothing looked like she's just making it happen. It's like you can see everything, her being assisted by her opponent to get up in there. I told you guys, man. But, what happens with WWE retards is when you speak truth, they just don't like the truth. People, this era, like I said, this generation don't care about truth. It's just what they want to believe. She agreed to this shit. Remember when Lex Luger came over to WWE back in the day? Remember how much smaller when he left? His last match was against Sting. They had him at 289 pounds, and you could see the size difference. So when he was in WWE, they had him at 265. Lex like he was about 250. Don't matter, but he had that narcissist shit, all this staring at himself in the mirror. Like, that's just, I'm telling you, they've always had, it's something about these motherfuckers that when they start to develop, and that was a long time ago. Now, back in the day where everything was big fat guys or big muscle bound guys, big steroid up guys, whatever. But what I'm saying, certain people, they had a certain like the Rick the Model Martel. They made him a little diva. Rick Martel was respectable. He was in the AWA. But anyway, there's something about it. But what I mean is all those little elements of, different characters. Right now, it just gets to the point where you look now, everybody's the same. Even Nia Jax is tired. She imitating these wrestlers. She'll twerk and dance and little simple shit. Now, I can understand for health reasons, a fighter, a wrestler trying to, a person trying to trim down and, getting better shit. I get all of that. But, it's just something about the WWE, man. And plus, let's just be real. Gay culture is strong right now. So you got wrestlers coming out gay, both show. AEW have gay people as well. But it's not centered around them. You understand what I'm saying? It's not to the point where let's take these guys and put them in matches and just imagine if Sonny Kiss was the baddest wrestler on the fucking roster. Imagine if Anthony Bowens, just nobody could beat Anthony Bowens. Imagine if nobody, just say it. Back in the day, I don't know if he was playing a character or if he really was, but just think about if Adrian Adonis was the top guy in WWE. People would have been like, man, I watch this shit. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, it's a diva mentality that WWE has embraced and have said, okay, and this is what they're producing. So yeah, I'm just saying, it's like a very soft mentality. And there's nothing hardcore about their show. But if you think that rebrand of ECW that they did was complete garbage, there was nothing hardcore about it. What is it called? Extreme Championship Wrestling. What was extreme about it? Nothing. Nothing. So their vision for ECW was a completely watered down, crappy insult of a fucking version of ECW. Yeah, man. So yeah. There's just a lot of crap going on. But I wanted to get this video out because I wanted to talk about this. And next video I'll be talking about something completely different. Maybe get some gaming in or whatever, man. But yeah, this is your new WWE. So all that crossing your fingers and keep talking about what it used to be is not going to change anything. You're just going to be like the generations before you. As change comes in, new fans come in, older fans go out. It's simple. But they're never going to be what they're trying to be successfully. I mean, they want to turn this into a full-length Barbie movie of a company. Be my guest. I don't have to watch that shit, and I don't. So, it is what it is. Anyway, talk to me in the comment section, y'all. That's all I got for you now. Catch you guys on the next video.